What's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke, and today we're here to solve a problem that I get asked about a good bit, and that is, Zach, do you have smoke that comes out around the outsides of your door? And so if you've got that problem and you're wanting to know what's the answer, we're gonna be fixing that today. Let's get it. So I've done a good bit of research on this subject matter, and from what I can tell, there's two really good options of ways to seal up your door and help regulate your chamber temperatures. One of them is to use a gasket seal. I got this over at Academy Sports. It's from Oklahoma Joe's. There are lots of brands on Amazon that you can get as well. I'll make sure and leave links to my Amazon store so you can go check out those products and any other barbecue products that you might be curious about. I make sure to only use products that get good reviews. Next is an extra set of latches for the door. On this particular model, we've got one latch in the middle, and so it can leave you wanting for a little bit more pressure at the top and at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be placing one at the top and one at the bottom to help pull the seal up against our new seal, and I should have no temperature leaks at all. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna install the gasket seal onto the chamber, and so let's go ahead, get the door open. I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. So first steps that you definitely wanna take is you wanna really clean this area of your smoker. This is where the door comes in contact with the chamber and seals off. So we're gonna get a good clean on that. Now, if your smoker is heavily used the way that mine is and not new, what you may want to do is go some of these areas where there's a little bit more buildup and scrape some of that off. That way, just make sure you get a good seal. I don't have a lot of areas of buildup, so not a lot to worry about, but just something to think about when you're doing this. Something that people in my Facebook group, American Smoke Carnivores, have mentioned is that the factory seal on their unit has gotten kind of dry rotted and crumbly a little bit, and that's part of the reason why theirs doesn't seal. I don't have that issue with my door. Now, something that I live by is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so I'm gonna leave the seal on the door on there, and I'm gonna just put a secondary seal here. Now, if you're having those problems, I've seen people do this. They put a gasket seal here and a secondary gasket seal around the edges of the door as well, so you get that double compression of seal when you close your door. So let's go ahead, get this out of the box, and we're gonna put one more clean probably on this once this dries, and then we'll get this seal onto the inside of the door. So Adeline has come down to be our official supervisor of the process, and she's gonna make sure that everything's done right. You know, she's a very serious person and not to be clowned around with, if you know what I'm saying. Last steps we're gonna take, I've got this thing pretty clean. We're just gonna put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on here, and this is gonna help to get any residue off of these edges and get a good seal. The last thing you wanna do is to put all this work in and go out and buy the gasket, and then next thing you know, it doesn't stick. And so this is just a great extra step to take. And as you can see, our Clorox wipes did a pretty good job. We got most of that gunk and grime off of there, and so I know that this is going to stick really well. Give that a minute or two to dry, and we're going to be getting our seal out and ready to go onto the smoker. Adeline, does that look clean to you?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So supervisor approved. So let's go ahead and get into putting this onto the door. You're going to just find you a spot and kind of overlap a little bit, just right over the top edge, and then because what we're going to do is we're going to come in with a blade and we're going to trim it to fit. Adeline, will you hold this for me, baby?
Okay.
There we go. And just sort of make your way down. All right, pull it, Adeline. Pull it. Y'all know I had to get my big helper up here. I wouldn't have been able to do a good job. All right, keep pulling. Adeline is turning 5. She's getting bigger and bigger, so y'all can expect to see her in more videos. She's going to be our official big helper from here on out. All right, so just stop right there. We're gonna go a little bit past, and we're just gonna do a little saw action on there and cut that. come across the bottom.
Dad, that's looking good.
I think so too. Like I said, you don't have to worry about getting it perfect when you're just putting it on. So we're going to be doing an overlapping.
Can I pull that?
Yeah, you can hold that for me.
Could you tell me when to pull it?
I will. Definitely will. Thank you for asking. This stuff is tough, so make sure you're not using a dull knife. There's nothing more dangerous than a dull knife. If nobody's ever told you that, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so pull it for me, Adeline. And we're going to come up here from the top. Make it a little easier to go straight down. There you go. Make sure you follow up with a good rub on these things. Make sure you get a good bond to your metal.
Can I feel it?
Yeah, you can touch it right there. Feels rough, don't it?
Yeah.
Rough, rough, rough. Almost done, Adeline. It's very exciting.
It's very exciting?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Because when you're done with something, that means you don't have to work on it anymore. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show y'all what I'm talking about here as far as the overlap. Okay, so I've got that overlap to here, and then I overlap right there. Then all I've got to do is just come in right here and do a cut straight through to the metal. And then that's going to come off right there. And then I go in under there, make sure it's all the way through to the metal. And then I should just be able to pull that off of there. And then those should fit together nice and snug. Just like that. Thank you, baby. And then we got one last piece to put on here, just like this right here, straight across the top. And this will cook on a little bit, so when you close the door and you heat it up for the first time, you're going to get a cook on type of effect. That's going to really help to cement it into place. All right, so we've got all of our pieces on there. Adeline, you can have this.
Thank you.
That's your job. You're welcome.
Can I put that in the garbage?
Yes, ma'am.
Look, it's right here.
All right, so now we're just going to go around and we're going to cut all of our overlapped pieces, make them fit to where they're all the same thickness. That's why it's important to do that, so that they're all the same thickness and you get a nice, even application. Because the whole point is to get this.
Good.
Thanks, baby. I'm very proud of it. We're getting no leaks there, nice and smooth transitions on our seal. We're going to do that on the rest of them, and then we're going to be putting our new latches on the door. So we'll see y'all in just a minute when we get this cut up and start putting our latches on. Okay, so we've got our new gasket on. It fits great. I did take a lighter to some of these edges and singe them just a little bit. I was kind of surprised that it singed considering it's heat resistant material, but you know, it singed a little bit, cleaned it up slightly, and so now we're ready for our latches. So what we're gonna do is close the door up, and you automatically, you know, it's got a little bit tighter of a close to it, so you know it's gonna seal up a little bit better. First step in this process is we're gonna be fixing these to the side of the door. And so all I'm gonna do here is hold it right there on the edge, and I'm gonna be going in with a pilot hole for my screw. Once you got it marked, you can just go in and drill your hole. Pop that through. You can see there's insulation in the door. Check that out, Adeline. Tell us what you think. Is that going to work?
Yes, that'll work.
All right.
I mean, it don't work.
Oh, no. We're going to fix it up, though, so it does work, aren't we?
Y'all fix it up.
That's right. You're the supervisor.
I check stuff, okay?
That's right. You check stuff. All right. I'm going to put that in just like that. There we go. And that's got us lined up for our next hole. And we'll go ahead and get that on. This one, it pays to have two drills. I've got 2 drills, but I don't have 2 drills out here with me. And I'm tired of going and getting stuff, so we're just gonna do this the fun way. A little less insulation.
Now I'm gonna see.
All right, go check it out, babe.
That will.
All right, that will work. Now, when y'all are ordering these, I'll leave a link to the one that I got, but when y'all are ordering them, make sure that you get a latch that's got some hardware to it. Luckily, I had these screws on hand, but as far as I know, this thing did not come with screws. I just had these on hand, and so that's what I'm using. So once you've got that latched onto your door, these are adjustable, so you don't have to, you know, fuss too much over it, but you just want to sort of set it up to where whenever you open it, you've got a little bit of extra space to close on it. So I'm going to be going a little bit closer, and if I need to adjust it, I will. But we're going to line it up somewhere right around in there and get our pilot hole going. Full disclosure on this video, y'all take this with a grain of salt. I don't know what this does to the Pit Boss warranty. You might not want to tell them you did it. But I'm going to let y'all figure that out on your own, how you want to do it. I'm just eyeballing this because it's not terribly, terribly important. So see, I can tell from here when I open it, it's going to be too large, or it's going to open up enough to let release. And when I close it, it's going to be enough to catch. And if it's not, I can adjust it by threading it in a little bit. Got a mark. That.
Let me see that.
All right, check out that hole, Adeline. Make sure it's okay. Might be a little bit high. We'll be okay though.
It's okay.
Okay, it's okay. The official approved.
It's good.
Okay.
So y'all could screw it in.
All right, thank you, Adeline. Let me just put that in there. So. So everything looks lined up okay right there.
Can I see that? That looks good. Let me check it out.
Okay.
She did.
Yeah, Adeline, we just got to make sure that that's lined up. Put another hole in right here. We'll be ready to rock and roll.
It broke.
No, it did not. I thought it did. The bit pushed into the drill. I thought, I'm finna throw this old smoker in the fire. Daddy pushed too hard. You see how Daddy's starting to shine a little bit?
Yeah.
It's because it's getting real hot. Daddy gets a little bit irritable when it gets hot.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, Adeline.
I always check out.
That one went in like it was supposed to, see? All right, so we now have a secondary latch system on our smoker, and we'll just screw that in a little bit to adjust it. And you can make it as tight or as loose as you want it. See how that pulled up just a little bit there? So if there was any sort of looseness that was going to let smoke out of that door, and I can make that as tight as I want it. So there's no way smoke's going to come out here. Now all we got to do is put one down here at the bottom, and we're going to have this baby sealed up. We'll see y'all here in just a minute when we get that second latch installed. All right, so that's all done. We've now got our secondary supervisor here to make sure everything is up to code. Adeline has approved all the construction, and the corporate has come down from NAP management and is here to approve everything. I've got double latches on the door. Don't even need this latch anymore, so I can use that if I want to, in case I'm trying to keep some sort of a, I don't know, a Wolverine locked in this thing or something. But everything Everything is nice and sealed up now. We got our new gasket, new latches. If you're having trouble getting smoke to stay in the chamber, regulating your temps, this might just be the fix that you've been looking for. Guys, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. This will definitely get rid of all of your smoke leak problems. If maybe your latch has worn out, mine's sort of worn out. If that's the case, like I said, this is gonna seal you up, get your temps regulated, get rid of that smoke leakage, and help you to make better barbecue. Thanks for watching. Come over to American Smoke Carnivores on Facebook sometime. It's a great group. I'm in there every day. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Smoke on, and I'll see y'all in the next video.